All right, welcome back, Masters and Princesses, to another episode of MAID News Network. I am your host, S.J. Nix, and today we are going to cover the show that just concluded a few hours ago at Zepp Osaka Bayside. Now, if you watched the video from yesterday, right at the end, I said I had to do an edit because I screwed up at the end. I just recorded a 10-minute video about this recap. And when I went to turn off the recording, I realized I didn't start the recording. So yeah, I'm rusty as all hell. So please bear with me if there's any mistakes in this. I'll do my absolute best for you guys. So yeah, put up with the fumbles and the bumbles. I do my best. It's fun. Let's take a look real quick at the set list and see how tonight went. Not a big surprise since this was a back-to-back show. We don't really have any changes in the set except for one. Now, we'll start at the top. When we get to that one, we'll talk about it a little bit. So right up front, Forbidden Tale. Number 2, Choose Me. Number 3, Alone. Number 4, Domination. Number 5, Show Them. And we go into our first MC. Now, for those that went to both shows, and I know there are several of you who actually did go to both shows, good for you. We get our one and only change in the set at 6. Tonight, we did Don't You Tell Me with a modified battle that maybe we've seen a bunch of the videos, we're used to a certain one. I guess the battle changed a little bit, but it was still there. Now, the song that got swapped out for Don't You Tell Me was Hate. Now, for me, that's a tough choice. Both of those are amazing. I mean, Hate is just so good live, and I think with the live video from the 10th anniversary tour show final, it's become an absolute fan favorite, and to not see it in the set is a little bit strange, but I get it. That said, I will never, ever complain about getting Don't You Tell Me in a set. And if you heard yesterday, if you know anything about me, I love me some videos, and I always associate the songs with the videos, both for good and for bad reasons. And both Hate and Don't You Tell Me have amazing videos. I love the little Easter eggs, the personality quirks, and likes and dislikes that we get in the Don't You Tell Me MV. But then the Hate live video is just something special. The energy is off the charts. It's shot and filmed so well. It sounds so good. It is the perfect live song. Personally, it's a little early in the set for how hard it hits, but it's all good. So not going to complain about getting Don't You Tell Me. I guess a little sad that Hate isn't in there, but it is what it is. Fantastic set either way. Moving on. The rest of it, it is what it is. It's Go Easy, Shambles, Toi et Moi, since I got corrected on my pronunciation yesterday, Toi et Moi. Afterlife, just another great song and a great video. So much fun. Get to the Top is our instrumental. We get our second MC time. Bestie, Endless Story, Brightest Star, Letters to You, The One, Memorable. That's okay. Bar none. That is my favorite section of this set list. Between MC2 and Homogenei Time, that is damn near perfect. So good. Every one of those songs, for different reasons, just hits and lands so well. Definitely, the mid-late set for me is where all the meat and potatoes are. So good right there. We get to Homogenei Time. Haven't heard anything about that one way or another. I don't think there's anything crazy. Just your normal, straightforward Homogenei Time. And then to round out, just like last night, Protect You, Tamaya. As I said yesterday, probably one of my favorite songs on that album. Unleash, another great video. No God, and Magi. Now, I asked a little bit, and it's still pretty early in the morning. I'm doing this about 6 a.m. Pacific time. I got one story out of the show, and during one of the MCs, Akane was eating gogoichi, which, according to my friends, is like a little meat bun. I guess along the lines of a bilbao, something like that. It looked like it's like a little doughy bun with meat in it. So she was eating that during one of the breaks. I guess as they got to the end, she wasn't as far along as she wanted to be. So she shoved the rest of it in her mouth and then ended up being more than she could actually handle. So the girls were come over and covering her mouth so she could chew and not look too ridiculous, being kind of, that little Japanese demure came out, and the girls were trying to protect her chewing her food. So that was a good laugh during the show. But it sounds like they had a great time. Everybody at the show had a great time. Now, I got a couple questions for you guys. Looking at this set for these 2 nights, if you were going to swap in and I'll make it easier for you. If you were going to make this a 23-song set list, what would you put in and where would you put it in the set? For me, my initial thought was I would put Daydreaming right in there in that middle part that I like so much. Maybe put it at 18 right after Memorable, maybe between Letters to You and The One, but Daydreaming would go in that little section really, really well. And that's one of my favorite songs all time for them. But in the video that I thought I recorded but didn't, something occurred to me later. My favorite song from them, bar none, period, still is to this day my favorite song, is Warning. I think I'd put that at number 1 because their entry music dies down. Then you get the little intro to Warning, and then we are off to the races. No looking back. Hold on to your hats and your ass, boys and girls, because we're going for a ride. So I would put Warning at number 1 as a great way to kick off the set. Now, what do you guys think? What would you put in, and where would it be if we were adding 1 song to this set? All right, so that's it for that show recap. Now we've got 2 more shows at the end of the month, both in Tokyo. Got a little over 2-week gap between the shows. I don't know if they'll be doing much of anything, if anything. It'll probably be a little quiet, maybe something. There's always a random wild chance that we get another video from the album. I don't know what that would be. But you don't know. We'll see. Now, I do expect by the end of the last show, we will know what's going on for 2025. And I think, I would imagine we're going to get some international dates because they've always been really good at giving us a lot of lead time, like late US tour stuff. Like if they come in the spring or in the summertime for festival season, we'll probably hear about that here at the end of this little Zepp tour. Late year stuff, they tend to hold on to till springtime. So if they stick to their standards, they seem to love to be here for Misa's and Miku's birthday. So if we're going to get an October tour, I wouldn't expect to hear about that until March, but you never really know. I expect to hear what's going on in the springtime and probably early summer, which means maybe some more in-country shows plus some festivals. Now, if they come back to the States, one of the things that would not surprise me at all, and I kind of actually expected at this point, is them dropping down into Mexico again. Mexico goes hard for them. The girls know it. They absolutely love it down there. And it's time for them to play a show with The Warning in Mexico, since The Warning played a show with them in Japan. Completely see that happening. That it would actually kind of surprise me if that didn't happen. So if they come back to the States, expect them to go to Mexico and do a show with The Warning. If they do that and the timing is right, I don't even know what time of the year it is, to be perfectly honest with you, but I could see them drifted a little bit, a lot further south, if I'm being honest, down and do Rock in Rio. The girls did Rock in Rio. That would be huge for them the way Lollapalooza was here. It's going to introduce them to a crowd that maybe doesn't know about them or knows very, very little about them. And if they can get a decent time slot on even one of the bigger side stages, that will do huge things for them in the South American market. And South Americans go absolutely batshit crazy for their hard rock and their metal. So if they can get down there, I think that would be a great thing for them. But we're just going to have to wait and see. This is all speculation on my part. Hoping that some of those things happen. Europe, you guys are so overdue. Even if it meant no U.S. tour, and it hurts my heart to say, I would be okay if you guys got even a decent Western Europe tour. You know, the UK, France, one of the Scandinavian countries, just something that makes it accessible for you, your European fans, your Schengen zone guys. You guys need some of this. It's been so long. I feel bad for you, but I still want to see him again. But I would sacrifice a U.S. tour so you guys can get your chance. You guys are overdue, but we won't know until they decide it's time to announce. So I'm hoping that we'll get some information about 2025 at the last Zepp tour in Tokyo. But with that, we're done. That's it for today. We covered Osaka, Zepp Osaka Bayside show. That's 2 so far at the front of the month. We have 2 more at the back end of the month. So we will catch up with you at the end of the month for the Tokyo shows. If you're going, let me know if you're going or not. Maybe buy me some merch, because I don't have any merch from this last drop. I haven't used any of my contacts to get something from the Zepp tour. There's a few things I'd like to go and pick up over there, but since I can't go, maybe some of you will help me out. Anyways, I am SJ Nix. This has been the recap for the Zepp Osaka Bayside show. This is MAID News Network. We will see you next time. Bye, guys.